How's it going? My name is Alex, and we are LiveStory. We are a team of 7, and we started writing our first line of code last night and working on our graphic assets throughout the night. Now, LiveStory is a choose-your-own-adventure graphic novel, and we leveraged HTML5 and native Android technologies to get our app together. So let's go ahead and take a look.
One to the left.
Okay. So like I said, LiveStory is a platform, and so we want content creators to be able to, for example, graphic novel artists and authors, to be able to come together and create stories that we will be able to navigate through using our platform. We wanted to connect through Facebook and Twitter, so we could pull social data. And we went ahead and showed you kind of an example of connected through Facebook. And we see 4 different stories here: Zombie Adventure, Retirement Road, Carnival, and what we're going to go through today is Venture Crunch. So the story starts, and as you can see, the setting is San Francisco. And so we step right into the plot, and so you are going to an investor meeting, a very important meeting at Nest GSV. So you're currently in San Francisco and you need to make it to Redwood City. You have 3 options. You can go by train, car, or bus. Through this example, we're going to try the bus. And by boat, apparently. So we're on the bus. Everything is going great. We're ready for the meeting until we realize we still need to put on deodorant. We never did, but that's okay. Then we hear a scream. We hear a scream and we realize people are shouting, 49ers won the Super Bowl. And as rowdy as San Francisco get, people are kind of toppling the bus over. We still need to get to our meeting. And so we get out of the bus and we could either get a taxi or we can call a friend. The meeting is really urgent, so what we do is we end up getting into a taxi. Things are going pretty well. We're in San Francisco, on our way to Redwood City. We didn't have to pay too much money for Uber, so we're pretty happy about that. Then we realized this cab driver is just charging us a ridiculous rate. And so we can either stay in the cab or we can bail. And so we're going to bail out of this one and get to the meeting on time. I'm already kind of stinky because I didn't put on deodorant. I'm a block away from Nest GSV, and there's a garbage truck, or I could steal a bike to get to the meeting. I don't like stealing, so I'm not going to steal a bike. I jump on the back of a garbage truck, and I'm getting closer to the meeting. We're right off Broadway. We get to the front door. And this is actually, one thing I want to note about this scene is that we wanted to leverage the NeuroSky technology to be able to allow you to choose a certain path. For example, if you're focused versus kind of panicked, to kind of alter the story. So if you weren't focused, you would kind of go through different storyline elements. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get too much of the API to work. Anyways, so if you were focused, we would continue. You go into your meeting, and everything goes well. You nail the meeting, and now you're ready to start the startup. And this is just a quick example of what kind of stories would be in the live stories. So that's about it. Thanks to Lude for getting our HTML5 app on the iOS system, and thanks to RIM for letting us borrow their BlackBerry playbook. We weren't able to get our hands on the BlackBerry 10, and we were able to port over the APK in a pretty good fashion. So,
can you show us an alternate path in your story, just 1 or 2 scenes?
So we didn't create any alternate paths, although what we would have to do is just create kind of like a different branch. So essentially this demo is just linking, and so that is like essentially what each story is. Ultimately, what we want to do is we want to create a sort of drag and drop system. So somebody who's, for example, an illustrator can go to our system, pair up with a writer, and even though they don't know any type of programming language or development background, they could drag and drop their characters and create these alternative branches and storylines.
So is your app the designer, or that app was just what we saw?
Yeah, so there were 2 designers on the team, and the rest of us were engineers with marketing experience as well.
No, my question was, the app you're demonstrating, is it is LiveStory a platform? Did you develop a platform, or did you develop just the story?
I think I can answer that. So it
Yeah.
is a platform with full backend. The whole story is driven by metadata. So you getting there's a conditional logic there. There is a story is completely configurable. So we can change on the fly. We can add different packages on the fly. We can throw more kind of things on the fly.
So that was written over the course of the last day?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, what was the role of all the 7 members in the team?
So actually, I'm a UX designer, so I worked with design with the lead designer, Zach. And then we have Yuri, who worked with Mateo on the story writing. We have Amit, who is the Android developer, and Cyrus, who helped him with the BlackBerry conversion. And then Sergey, who worked on the HTML5 app.
Yeah, the full stack from database to HTML.
Okay.
Rails.
Good job.
All right, next.